Folks, welcome to another episode of the Hard Talk. My name is Gautam, and herein we uncover the new face of hospitality. Today, I'm in conversation with Mr. Chirag, an engineer by profession, a salsa instructor by passion, and entrepreneur by choice. He caught the experiential tea concept early on in the game and conceptualized Chai Patti Tea Fair that today takes pride of being known as the earliest and one of the first. Chai Patti is synonymous with Bangalore. It boasts of a fan base that consists of students, families, corporates, and even travelers alike. Chirag can be found at the venue, also mentoring restaurant entrepreneurs, helping them create creative concepts, and help them have a good start. You can see him on the front line, talking to customers, taking pictures of them, and also serving them day in and day out. Without further ado, let me introduce you to Mr. Chirag Yadav.
And now you're audible.
I think we finally made it. Great. Audience, we're really sorry for the inconvenience and the trouble. Well, it's unexpected. Well, so let's just jump right in, Chirag. Would you like to take a brief introduction about yourself?
Uh, I guess you've explained it well in the introduction, already
Yes.
mentioned in the quote. But
Yes.
for people who are seeing me for the first time, well, I'm a chai wala in simple terms. But yeah, the owner of Chai Patti. It's been close to 10 years. This December, we finished 10 years in business. I am the owner of Chai Patti Tefe. Tefe is a short form for tea cafe. But yeah, back in 2010, when I had started, there were CCTs and a lot of cafes, but no chai cafe. So yes, I am the owner of the first chai cafe in India. And yeah, been engineer before that. I'm an electronics engineer with embedded systems specialization also. So can do a little bit of ICs and all that, but I like the kitchen more. So now doing something around chai. So chai and snacks is what I offer, and that's what Chai Patti is about.
I mean, that's a very interesting combination of aesthetics that you have going there. Engineer, salsa, and then now a chef. I mean, in other words, to say, right?
Being a army man's son, it's difficult not having multiple hobbies, or you can say pick up new opportunities, whatever you can try. Every 2 years, changing a city, definitely I've had new friends. I haven't changed my preferences in terms of whether I like cricket or whether I like tennis when I was little elder. But well, once I was post college, it's always been something that could present myself well. I knew the technical things of being an engineer, so I started it like that. But over a period of time, you can say 5 6 years of having worked uh, in Delhi to begin with, and then in Bangalore. Once I came to Bangalore, I loved the city, and I was learning salsa in Delhi. So that's why, alongside my engineering work, uh, office work, in the evenings on a weekend, would always go for tapping a foot, teaching also later on, because after 3 years of learning and dancing, of course, the seniors had told Chirag, you're tall enough, why don't you teach? So that's how I got into salsa teaching, and been all into it. In fact, I quit my job also because I was earning more from teaching Infosys students and in my own salsa studio students on the weekend. That's why
Wow.
I quit my job. But
That's-
when did Chai Patti happen? Means that's again, it's a twist and twist. If we keep talking, there'll be lots to come.
Yeah, I mean, I also briefly understand that the whole concept of chai patti came in through your art forms of dancing as a collaborative space that you want to bring about with chai as the ingredient and a beverage that can support all of this aesthetics, right?
Yep, I would say we've always been, means I personally have always been back in job times, a business development guy who was also a programmer, who was also a designer in terms of the circuits, but I was also the proposal giver as well as going to the client and convincing them on the prototype. So when I quitted, I started something called as Chai Patti Activity Center. That's how Chai Patti started. But I was teaching salsa, I was teaching even bartending and photography along with my friends. Out of the blue, you can say after almost 3 or 4 batches and events of teaching and being alongside people, Out of the blue, a student, you can say, had asked me, Chirag, you're called Chai Patti. Where is your office? We come to your house or we come photography sessions are happening. Where's the office? There should be something called a Chai Patti instead of your house. So that's when I said, okay, let me open an office, but it was a very odd feeling. Office people, another student again, not people, another student only said, Chirag, if your brand name is Chai Patti and you're only offering photography in a bar, you give liquor and you're teaching salsa, where is chai? So out of the blue, it came that there is no cafe. So let's open, because I own the brand name Chai Patti, let's open Chai Patti Tea Cafe. Tea Cafe, again, this is something you and me have discussed long past also. The short form of Chai Patti Tea Cafe is CTC. So if my short form is CTC, people would again hi, this is Chirag. Let's make it CT, as in Chai Patti on 10th December. Though running the school more over almost a year, 2009, August or September, I quit my job and started Chai Patti Activity Center. Almost a year post, next year, 2010 December, Chai Patti Cafe opened in the outlet, smallest. Now I
Right.
lost you.
Yeah, no, I think we still have we still have the connection going on. Am I audible though? Great.
Yes,
Great.
you
So
are.
that
You are.
great. So that brings to a close to a decade end of this year, I suppose so, right? Since the whole idea of chai patti came about.
Yep. Uh, Chai Patti, basically, if we look at the anniversary date or you can say the starting date, Chai Patti was 27 December 2010. So every year, 27 December, we celebrate the anniversary of Chai Patti. 27 December also happens to be my mom's birthday. So a lot of the customers know that that's auntie's birthday and that's Chai Patti's birthday. So every year we celebrate the anniversary, cutting a cake and calling our oldie friends, customers and new ones. This year, again, 27, 2 days post the Christmas Day, we will be celebrating 10 years of existence as a Chai Patti Tepe. Though Chai Patti would finish 11 years because that
Right.
started in 2009.
Right. That's wonderful. I mean, I look forward for more glorious years from chai patti for sure to come through.
Thanks.
Great. So the coin Tife, was it actually coined by you? Because I think there's only one other
Yes.
place that I read about that's Tife in specific.
This is something you can say I was a roomie to a Neftite who was also my colleague in my last corporate job, Axiom. He, while designing, he had told that, okay, chai patti, let's name it chai patti. It's actually chai patty because the spelling is Patty. Chai
Right.
patti, I cannot own the brand name because that is like a term
Right.
came up with
Sort of
during my
a
great
noun, I
grandfather's
suppose.
time.
Yeah.
But chai patty was something. I am from Delhi, so in Delhi, the puffs that you eat in Bangalore, it's called patty. It's also
Mhm.
called patty in Mumbai. So that's how the brand name was chai patty. That's what we had started in the beginning because that time mom not being there and most of these northeastern staff working in south, they were like, "What is pakoda?" What you
Mhm.
call bhaji in south is what we call
Mhm.
as pakoda, and we are a very chai pakoda conversation people. We like chai biscuits, chai,
Right.
no chai cookies. We are Parleji and chai is a excellent combination for Delhi smokers who go out for talks while with their colleagues or whatever. So Parleji was easy, but when I started, pakodas were a little tough. So that's why I named it chai patty because that way I could have basically offered people that, okay, you want something fried, I can't do that immediately. Patties to begin with, momos are there, and you can
Mhm.
take chai, and of course I've got lovely Maggie has
Right.
again been a very traditional good stuff that people love to come to chai patti for. I'm sure you remember the 2 months Maggie ban that had happened in India. I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
suffer that. I was still having Maggie that time because that is how Nestle dears chai
Right.
patti.
Right.
But that's the whole chai patti tefe. Both of them are terms which I took international trademark registration, copyright. You got to do those if you got a good brand name.
Right.
Otherwise, there are several copiers. I had a person who had opened in Bhopal, Nukkar the Tefe. I
Yes,
had
yes,
sent him a
yes,
court
it's
notice,
exactly, yes.
and it had got changed. So I'm particular about Tefe. Anybody opens, it's not that I say please change it, but I say that friend, I own that brand name, I own that term. If you want it,
Right.
take my permission, open it. I don't mind. But in India, in terms of tea cafes, there could be stall owners much before even I was born. But Chai Patti Tea Cafe, a cafe level size space, I was the first one to open. So short form, Chai Patti Cafe. That's
That's
what we do.
interesting. You've got IP going around the brand as well, so it definitely makes it more scalable in nature, I suppose.
Yep.
Um, so, just to jump into a little bit about the situation that we are all in right now as
Hmm.
restauranteurs in the hospitality space, do you want to tell me a little bit about how are you doing and how are you feeling?
Uh, well, let's take COVID as a mean. This has been a long-term pandemic. We have had problems. Most of the restaurateurs, most of the startup owners have always had problems during startup when they've just begun the business, and midway because of staff or various other reasons, not affected because due to you, it gets happened. But here, something that happened all across India, COVID, when it happened in March, it wasn't that internationally people didn't know of it. There were enough instances that had happened internationally, even in Feb and Jan. But the way it spread post March, the financial year ending in business terms, 24th March, our lockdown happened. Otherwise, 22nd also, for a single day, the government had thought that, okay, let's close it down for a day and let's understand what it is. But then out of the blue, it said a long lockdown for a month. None of us had a feeler, no matter whether you're following Economic Times, whether you're a international avid reader, or Twitter follower. This wasn't suspected by any of us. No business owner, leave out the F&B business only, but none of us expected that. But it happened, and you can say most of us, because it was financial year ending, for us from a restaurateur perspective, understand our license renewals, our landlord rental renewals, rental term renewals usually happen March to March. That's the financial year end funda. So we were anyhow, we each year around March end, we are in the process of restabilizing things and maybe renovating the menus, doing the interiors. So it is a month which usually planning happens. So out of the blue, lockdown happened. It wasn't that we weren't already in that mode of planning, but yeah, closing it down and then thinking how the new business will come, that was a task. So those who had not planned, they were totally, they fell bad. But in my case, this was something I can say, you can, most of my restaurateur friends from the BRO group or the NRI group, at least those who have interacted with me online also, they were aware that last year there was something around November, the NRCCAA problem. Most of the foodie outlets, whether it's a bar, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a hotels, because the staff numbers is huge. So losing 10 or 12 boys because of holidaying reasons or any other official reasons won't be a task. But understand November, December, due to NRCCAA, lot of the Northeasterns who might have their Aadhaar card, might have had all their official papers. We don't pick anybody who's non-identity. You can easily fake your identity by picking a 500 rupee Aadhaar card from Majestic. But the thing is, most of us who are professional brands, we don't pick just some random person just from a reference. So when these guys were called back in their states, by the state governments, that okay, you are working, you might be working for 6 years in Bangalore, but friend, you are a Assamese, or you are a Tripura guy, or you're a Bengali. Bengal didn't have a problem, but most of the northeastern states, the state governments had called them back that you are supposed to come here so that you verify yourself for NRC, because they are either farmer sons or they're basically minor sons, general domestic audience there in the state. So
Mhm.
my most of the staff, the senior staff, master chef and the assistant chef, had already gone in November, December home. I thought they'll come back, but they had anyhow stayed back in the village. So Feb March, for most of the people in March during lockdown who felt that what do I do with my 6 staff members, I had none. I had none. I had a total of, I've always, I'm a huge space. I'm a 2,200 square feet huge tea cafe, but I've never had 10 boys. I've always kept 4 to 5 boys because I myself dwell into a little bit of cooking, a little bit of preparations. My mom, she's most of the time, she spends time here watching the TV and being around with customers and me than staying at home. So for us, staff was never something we had in huge quantity. So 4 guys, if around December, they used to go for Durga Puja, Diwali time home. So we are used to that. Not coming back for a month. Business was low in January, was low in December, not because they going home. Generally, people didn't come. Last year, November, December, compared to every year's last quarter business, most of us, bars, chocolate spaces, bakeries, even restaurants, the usual lakhs that we do in December, November, December, and half of Jan because it's end of the year. Most of the people have spent nicely in December. So Jan goes little lull, but again, it's more profitable than the Feb and March that follows. So all of us are in that saving mode for renewing our lighting money, keeping it on the side. That's the usual process. This suddenly came as lockdown. Whatever we had saved, we had to anyhow spend it for license payments and various others. But staff payment was then a task that, okay, uh, I don't have future business coming. Who do I keep? Who do I remove? The people I'm removing, should I pay them? Should I not pay them? That dilemma was there in most of the owners' head, the food F&B owners' head. In my case, Jan, my boys didn't come back. Feb, I called them to check what's happening. They said, sir, little problem with the approval and all that. The staff makes a different kind of stories. Sometimes they want to stick around, sometimes they want to go to a competition, or they want to open their own. Because trust me, being a chai wala is very easy. Now that even your prime minister is the ex-chai wala, everybody in India wants to become a chai wala. But the thing is, in my case, just having two housekeeping guys and being myself there and my mom there, we are good enough. So staff wasn't a problem. The lockdown start 24th, yes, with low business in January, not very low in December. December was good, but not comparable to the earliest. The savings weren't there. So March onwards, the biggest problem was, in case I'm closed, what is my expenses? Since I'm not running in the shop, I don't have costs of everyday expense, electricity charges way too much and all that, and no staff, so no charges, no cost pinching me. But landlord was something I had to check upon, and that is the only thing what kept me little in the decision making mode for March and April. After that, government basically had told that what has to be done and when are they allowing us to open. Though it was again in rips and open and close mode, but that's what the whole feel for at least Chai Patti and myself. That staff wasn't a pinch. It was savings being
Right.
little less. How do I manage? And when am I going to open? And when I open, will customers be there or not? What's my
Right.
support system? That's what.
That's great. That's great. I mean, how did you see during this whole fiasco of lock, unlock, and keep it open? Not
Uh,
what were the consumers? I mean, did you have sales happening at all, or was it literally next to nil?
uh, One thing we have always done. Okay, my chai also has come, so I'm going to be having chai while talking.
Cheers to that. Absolutely.
So while we were running, we had a backup in the level. We were on Swiggy, so Swiggy deliveries used to happen. But yeah, once lockdown happened, that of course there was no point keeping the shop open or at least the brand open for Swiggy just for delivery. We were allowed. Most of the restaurants were allowed that okay, you're supposed to stay closed, but deliveries on a cloud kitchen level, you can run it. So most of them were working on that mode. In my case, with no staff, or you can say putting a housekeeping guy who's not capable of cooking, and me or mom coming to the shop every day just for these one or two orders, I had pulled out of Swiggy because of that. So for me, business wasn't there because footfalls couldn't happen, shop was closed. There were no orders, delivery orders happening because I had pulled out of Swiggy also. So it was virtually zero. What I had besides that was a office catering. You can say there were two or three offices whom we were supplying everyday tea and snacks around 3 or 4 p.m. But since they were also locked down, so there was virtually, you can say, March till April. In fact, entire April, May, there was zero business. Only, you can say, once things kind of warmed down a little at the end of April, May first week onwards, I was anyhow coming every 15 days to 20 days to my space. Though it was closed, I have open balconies. You're aware of that. I'm sitting right now also in a balcony. So keeping it clean, because the shop is closed, the machines are switched off, the freezers still have stock. It's not loaded up, but stuff which may not be prepared. I won't prepare it at home for myself. Some I could, so I carried it home. But whatever was frozen in that frozen mode, they were spoiled. So most of us who had kept their shops closed totally, not even for delivery, we had a lot of wastage, which we had to throw. So for that, coming every 15 days, checking what's the stock, is there any pest control and all that to be done. That time there was nothing from the government side that, okay, you need to now, if whenever you open, sanitization and various other things. We generally have managed our storerooms like that, that even during working time, every month end or the first week, we have cleaned the interiors, at least the walls, and removing cobwebs and cleaning on a daily basis happens anyhow. But storeroom checking up for rats, for pests, usually is a monthly process all follow. Now everything closed with freezer not switched off, switched on, because I don't want to spoil the food.
Your inventory, yeah.
Basically, replacing it, inventory checkup. That is what kept me busy during April. May also once or twice have come. That time, some customers who have been always friends on WhatsApp. You've seen Chayapati has a page on WhatsApp, on Instagram and Facebook. People have sent me DM, because whenever I've come, I'm very uh, I'm not virtual, but I'm very active on Instagram. So my pictures do come with content that, okay, came up for cleaning the space, missing the usual days. Hope the problem ends soon and we can have customers back. Now, let's say a regular customer who lives in the back end, he sees that Chirag is there in his balcony cleaning and he's put a selfie there. Let me check, does he have momos? They have called me that time to check, Chirag, are momos there? And I've told them, excuse me, when my shop is closed, where will momos come from? You want
Right.
Maggie? I can make Maggie for you, because for that, I can get veggies from the nearby Namdari or Nilgiri, get veggies, and I can make you good Maggie. Even giving you pakoras won't be a problem. But momos or anything, chicken and all that, I can't suddenly source for you. And I don't want to
Right.
give you something old. So
Right.
people have been in touch, and little you can't call it business, but it's like 2 orders or 3 orders on the days that I've planned to come. I've told people the previous night that, okay, tomorrow is Chai Patti cleaning day, so
Right.
hope to catch you over a smoke. And they're like, you sell smokes also? I'm like, I don't sell smokes, but I'm just telling that I'll be there.
Your
So
company
in
around.
case you want, so in case you wanna come for a quick meal, do come. And it's during the daytime, so it's safe. Otherwise, we had restrictions that, okay, you can't be hosting customers, and I'm not hosting like a group, maybe one person or two-person. So that's kept me in the active mode with the customers during April, May. Finally, when the news came that, okay, you can open from June, that's when we were in that mode that, okay, talk to the vendors, get the stock back, fresh stock, because this problem, like you're asking me, most of the vendors also were totally shut down. Now, apologies. My vendors, basically, I trust them because I've been with them for over 3-4 years. There are no newbies with me. But many a times you will come across people who are going to give you stuff, canned stuff, you will get like 6 months old. The same thing you would have seen even in liquor. I've seen huge 2 kilometer lines outside drops. But I've asked my friends also who stood there, I've like, you picked up a Budweiser, what's the date on it?
Right.
Chirag, it is October 2019. I'm like,
Close
so
to
nice,
expire.
man. So nice, man. 6 months, it's already over. No, man, we are in June. I'm like, so June itself is six, my friend. Take the 2 months of 2019 also, but it's
Right.
Budweiser. So there was old stock selling off, old stock passing off free, maybe discounted by most of the vendors, which was done during this lockdown period. Customers, whether they bothered, they didn't bother, it's freshly done, it's sauteed well in the pan. None of them have checked that. So for me, the last part of May before opening in June was picking up fresh stock, whether it's chicken, whether it's various tidbits. Veggies can be picked on the day I open, but the other stuff was replenished. So that's what kept me busy entire May.
Right, right. So, I mean, what's interesting is that the speculation states that we have no idea when this thing is going to bounce back, when we're actually going to be in full swing. I mean, with this notion, a lot of businesses are trying to explore new avenues and new formats of businesses. I mean, as you might be aware, everybody is now a little bit more bullish about technology and digital ordering and so on. So, what really have you thought of in regards to chai? Considering chai is an affair that people would like to have with their friends and family, even if it's office. What measures are you looking to take going forward for the near future?
Gautam, when it came to means something all of us followed was the contactless dining. And instead of giving table menus, even in my place earlier, we used to give those small laminated menus to each customer on the table. But now what I've done is I've stuck a big wall menu, which people have to go read it. There are small whiteboards on which specials are mentioned, but there's nothing they get on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I had thought of the QR code thing, but trust me, as much techno savvy we call ourselves, and Bangalore is the startup capital of India when it comes to technological startups. But when it comes to mobile downloading basic QR sensing apps, I don't want to be a QR app promoter. I am
Mm-hmm.
giving you a QR code sticker, small mini standee on your table. Scan it and pick. But I found that very odd. Technology, as much it is good. I'm myself an engineer, electronics, embedded
Mm-hmm.
system, so I understand what are apps and I love apps. But the thing is, customers even today would like that little personal intervention from the staff or the owner, telling what is there, what's not there, and what is good. They might know, but still they like to hear it rather than checking on a QR code and finding a online menu on which specials are tagged as specials. You would still like to talk and know.
Right.
So I always kept it that okay, remove the table menus to wall menus. On a technology level, just keeping it more like there is an online menu which people can read. I do get calls now. We are back on Swiggy also, so I do get calls directly that okay, I'm calling from so and so. I need this because they've read the menu not on Swiggy. They've checked it
Mm-hmm.
on my website or on my Google link that I've mentioned there. That is also there in QR code, but only thing I have not pasted it like most of the others do when it comes to contactless dining.
Right.
People
Right.
have to see something big enough and then see what the other person nearby is having, which was always the old method that okay, I enter a new bar, I know what I want to drink. That is not
Mm-hmm.
something I need to copy my neighbor. But if
Right.
he or she is having a chicken leg or maybe a pizza or a pasta, it seems good to see upon. So I say, what is that? For that,
Right.
I need someone to talk to me, not a
Right.
QR code which gives me a picture. So
Right. Right.
that's my perspective about technology, at least in the ordering perspective. Won't
Mm-hmm.
work.
Right. I mean, do you see technology actually being of a lot more use cases going forward? For example, I believe direct booking is something that you try to do, whether it's over a call, a big order ticket price booking, such as catering, right? And you having to have a very good presence on social and also having a portal. Do you see, or does direct booking sort of add value to you as a business? Looking at the situation now with the ordering and dining is obviously highly stumped.
Uh, as of now, you would know me that I, being the owner of Chayapati, I'm personally a one-man show. Whether it comes to marketing or seeing the online stuff, I only put it, I only comment on it, and I only post it as specials or combos.
Mm-hmm.
Now, uh, whether it comes to promoting something or finding acceptance of customers online, yes, you have to know the right mediums for it. As of now, if you ask me, most of us are with elevated prices. These are not the real prices. You'll find that in the outs in the space
Mm-hmm.
on Swiggy or Zomato, elevated menu prices. Even
Mm-hmm.
if I find a combo there which is lesser than what is the individual prices on that menu, I still feel the demand and the consumption would be much lesser. This is something through social media, which is not a means for most of the restaurant owners. My website, contact us page, or the menu page, I can keep changing the specials. I can't do it every day because it's a website. It's not a Facebook or an Instagram. I have to put combos which are gonna be put as combos even on Swiggy and Zomato, so that people can understand I can't go there, not because I'm lazy, but because it's a kind of a self quarantine I've given to myself.
Right.
I want to pick a combo so that I get a snack, but I get a main course kind of a thing also. And in one go, my entire day's meal is done.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely on a digital level, people have to plan it right. Very few as of now, the last four episodes that I've seen of Receptio, they are saying that yes, we are coming up with newer menus and all that. None of the owners or their main team is doing it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I be the only one doing it, I'm standing out, but demand is still not there. All
Right.
of us need to do it. Customers need to be in that mindset that, okay, let me open Swiggy or let me open a random new combo. It's just a example like Dunzo. Dunzo is not a food aggregator, but
Mm-hmm.
Dunzo is a delivery thing. But
Right.
Dunzo doesn't allow all the brands to just showcase their menus on it. It
Yes.
has, like Swiggy or Zomato, picked up Chai Point and various others who are putting their menu there. But that menu would be a smaller, constricted menu, which is primarily for the fast selling items or
Sure.
the combos.
Right.
That kind of a promotion or that kind of a pitching is doable provided you know it will have a demand. As of
Right.
now, digital is a good word, technology is a good word, but the first question a restaurant owner, a F&B outlet owner will ask is, I pick this, what is the demand? Will a
Mm-hmm.
customer go on this platform and order?
Mm-hmm.
They are convinced on Swiggy Zomato because that is what these guys have been doing for ages.
Sure.
But when it comes to online, Instagram, Facebook, it's their own pages. Bars are very used to every week putting your happy Wednesdays or happy Thursdays. Those are your happy hours you have. On that day, you get a 50% off or you get a snack free with the liquor. Right now, liquor outlets are not open. So those kind of deals are not happening.
Right.
You have to create your own thing. But in that, is it a new thing? Is it a combo that you're designed? People have to do it themselves. Till they don't try, it won't be. I can't comment whether it's be successful or not. I am doing it. It's visible. We did something related to COVID friendly menu. So we brought that. A lot of people enter. I don't need to show them the whiteboard that those are the specials. They themselves say, okay, I want that one. I want that tea or I want that special omelette. I give them and they enjoy it. That connection is thanks to they seeing the picture of it or a post that I put on Instagram. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't promote it, I didn't make it into an ad,
Right.
but it's that regular connection with the customer that I do online on social media.
Right. I mean, yeah, I mean, it seems like customers need this reinforcement, whether it's in terms of marketing or trust in some format or the other. I mean, do you believe that today's marketing it should be more about building trust rather than just widely promoting and getting acceptance? I mean, the trend of the marketing is changing, I suppose so, right?
Yep. As of now, means let's take it this way. Before the lockdown happened, before the whole Corona COVID situation happened, most of us did have college friends. We had our own college WhatsApp groups. We had we have had old colleagues where we have worked before. On a restaurateur level, we have our Facebook fan pages, we have our Instagram fan pages, but as owners, most of us are not sending DMs to every damn follower of ours that okay, are you coming? Are you? We are not on that level. We don't
Mm-hmm.
intrude that much of privacy of our customers or our followers. But we already had a mindset of sending happy birthdays in our college groups or on LinkedIn also. Simple example, LinkedIn reminds me that okay, today is this person's birthday. That person may also be my friend on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook are also sending me a reminder. So I am anyhow in a mode of sending them happy birthdays through messages or DMs.
Right.
Because
Right.
of lockdown, I had this much of time that if I have the person's number, instead of sending a WhatsApp happy birthday, why can't I call them?
Right.
We got this moment in a way positively for making our relationships better.
Right.
Client relationships, customer relationships, and of course with our staff.
Right.
If doing that, we have been able to tell that friend, I'm not dead, neither is my brand dead, and I'm little concerned about you. Are you doing fine? That mutual concern basically has energized or made our relationships better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, surely we can say that, okay, a customer earlier was maybe not even checking the daily posts on Facebook, Instagram, because they themselves didn't have that much of time to go on to Facebook, Instagram, because of their schedules and various other things that was keeping them binded. Right now, sitting at home, they have all the time to come on social media, which is not their usual inkling.
Right. Right.
Now, that connections, if people get into and they try to forge a good relationship, that okay, someone said, put a small comment. I always do that. Even during pre-lockdown, I was doing it, that somebody's commented on a post of chai patti. Could be a random post that I've done, or something related to a special that I've done, or let's say it's raining outside and I'm like, so when are you coming for chai? Just a question comment with a picture. And person asked me that, are you going to be open till 11? I do comment, yes, I am open till 11. Not for current times, I'm saying previously. I've always
Mm-hmm.
been in that comment answering person. But now most of the brands can do that. They can go into their social media, their own marketing themselves. What so far was happening from an outsourced third party source, they have to see what they are selling. Everybody knows that currently, due to lockdown, you've got some restrictions. Few items you might like to add in the menu. Some things you will always having it on the back of your head that these are not selling well. I need to pull it out of the menu. Menus have got changed. People have added combos, because right now people, uh, one way you can say, people don't have the money because most of the salaries have gone down. They've been reduced.
Mm-hmm.
Spending capability is still there of the customer, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to give a deal. A deal is
Mm-hmm.
not what's the discount. The deal is what's the combo in which your sources, whatever is on your inventory, that's getting used. At the same time, the person's getting a full feel. Only thing, they're not getting a service. They're only getting it
Sure.
as an order or a delivery.
Sure.
But this
Right.
has to be pitched, and you have to connect with the customer in a way that you liked it. Why don't you post a picture of yourself having it?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
That may not work for some businesses. Like in my building, there's a salon. I'm good friends with the owners. They told that, Chirag, salons also opened recently. Only salons also were in a lockdown mode. But when they open, the usual promotion they do online is always of hairstyles, but you can only see the hair. Is it a
Mm-hmm.
model? Is it a customer? You don't know. But
Mm.
yesterday I had a talk with him, and he said, Chirag, I have done a photo collage thing like you do with chai patti, that okay, this is the food, this is the person I served it to, and this is how he or she is eating it and enjoying it. So a collage you make it. Similarly, I did for a person who came for a service. But then in the evening, we get a call. Hello, how dare you put the lady's picture there? This is not allowed. So understand, from a F&B perspective, there were earlier also that people were coming in groups. They didn't want to showcase it that yesterday I bunked office and I went for a drink, or I went with my set of this friends, but I ignored that one. So people have always been off getting very openly showcased on brand pages. But
Mm-hmm.
now, if people are in that connection with the customer, that okay, I've sent something special for you. You don't want your picture. I'm not focusing on your picture, but I just want to hear from you a comment format or something that you enjoyed it.
Mm.
Become my regular. It's not something to go digital for it. But the thing is, mutual appreciation will take both of them happily ahead. Because right now, trust me, once we government says everything is open, you're free to go. Yes, do wear your mask and do maintain the social distance amongst each other. But go. I want a friend who earlier used to come with a set of friends to come with the set of friends. It's not that set of friends are 20 people, 25 people. I still have got a huge enough space. They can sit easily in one balcony all by themselves, distance
Sure.
from each other. But they won't do the word of mouth if they are not convinced on the brand owner telling them that it's a safe place. And look, this was yesterday's group that came and they enjoyed and went. They need
Mm-hmm.
to see a old example and then be convinced, rather than just simple sanitizer pictures or the fumigation happening, the process videos of that. They want to see customers there. If you can
Yeah,
show
I
those
mean,
pictures, then they'll be more convinced.
it's interesting because I've seen a lot of new technologies being ideated. For example, let's live stream the kitchen, right? And I
Yeah.
think they've had some premium brands actually take up these initiatives, and premium POS players actually build solutions for case scenarios like this. I mean, do you find this to be a knee-jerk reaction, or do you find that, hey, you know what, this is probably going to be the future? I mean, what really is your impressions around that?
I would say, Gotham, at the end of the day, we are still India.
Mm-hmm.
We are not Gordon Ramsay.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, a lot of couples have been at home, the husbands who have never cooked anything, watching MasterChef online videos. They have cooked wonderful pasta, and the wife has loved it. But the thing is, we are not people who basically go by video streaming, learning what is being done in the kitchen. Yes, some top level brands do follow it. I'm aware of Smokeout Delhi and various others who follow that. Their master chefs are basically trained online through like we are doing a webinar right now. There's a food webinar happens teaching what is what. They never like to share that with the customer.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, customer right now goes to a big enough space, and like I told you, the example of the old beer, is the stock being freshly made or not? Just a picture after it's already served in the serving plate, and then I click a picture and I show that on my menu to a customer. It will look nice, but that's a ad picture. Was this made fresh or not? That process little bit has to be shown. But there I would like the Indian part of it to stay, which is the privacy.
Mm-hmm.
How I do simple things. Most of the customers who come, the small collage that I'm making, which is very personal to them or him or her coming and eating, I make that collage and I put it only as a story. The story is there live only for 24 hours. The
Mm-hmm.
person who came while clearing the bill knows that I have posted something. I do mention. Sometimes it gets missed, but I do tell them that, okay, you are going to get storyfied on Instagram or Facebook. This for 24 hours there, anybody coming new to check that should I go to Chai Patti or not, they can see that day's current stories. They will see customer with smiles, or at least they'll see what's served.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting a story, okay, that today is sanitizing day. I put a
Mm-hmm.
50 seconds that, okay, the spray, it's not made up. That's what I do, but that's not something I want to showcase. But once in a month or once in 3 months, if that kind of thing goes in the story, not as a post, it
Mm-hmm.
basically confirms to customers, they seeing that story, they are convinced. It doesn't need to stay there in archives.
Mm-hmm.
That's where at least you're keeping your sanctity there. At the same time, the staff in the kitchen also feels little safe.
Sure.
Otherwise, there's always that competition amongst the staff. Hey, that guy wasn't wearing apron. He wasn't wearing his headgear. Means you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to wear that head cover, head
Mm-hmm.
cap, and you're supposed to wear gloves. One thing wrongly done, and the owner will be like, "You're not wearing gloves." This is
Mm.
because the first time you wanted to put the video, this was happening all the time, but you never checked it. Now, because you want to take it online and show it, you're yourself going to be finding mistakes in your kitchen, which was so far invisible to you.
I
So,
mean, yeah, that totally brings to the fact that kitchens are meant to be sanitized, COVID or not, right? I mean, it's supposed to have a hygiene level or standardization. In fact, the fact that it should be an open kitchen for a customer to walk in and have a walkthrough, probably what KFC tries to do, is the right a customer should ask for, and the authority that the owner should have is that, yes, I'm open to do so. But the problem with that today is that beyond just sanitization, I think there are a lot more elements that you cannot really put a pen on, right? Whether
so
it is about sneezing, whether it is about gloves being changed multiple times. I mean, none of this is really justified. But I guess the only thing that we need to figure out is how can we build this trust, and how can we engage some sort of a referral coming out of the customers who have been to your venue as such, as going forward in this today's space, right?
in this, one more small point I can put is when this we opened on 8th of June, a lot of restaurant owners for almost a week were showing the sanitizing part of the kitchen, showing it as an open kitchen, at the same time showing this that every day our employees, when they enter the space, through a IR thermometer, their temperatures are checked. It's checked every 1 hour. That comes in the code. It's not shown for an hour, the video. But they're
Mm-hmm.
showing all that. They're showing they're wearing gloves. They're wearing aprons. And in case a delivery order comes, the executive, whether it be of Swiggy or Zomato, he also is checked, putting that video also. It is good to show only when we started. That is 8 June. Right now, if somebody is putting those videos mid after 3 months of having started, people will just look upon it as desperation that okay, this guy is not getting business and now showing these videos to make us feel safe. Shouldn't he be convinced that the customers would be? But most of us who are rather passing on the work kind of owners or passing on the work kind of senior staff, they are showing this to show who's the boss. As of now, F&B outlets don't need to show who's the boss. They just need to show that food that they're giving is fresh.
Sure.
Give some pictures, small mini 10-second videos of the cooking process, and give a confidence of the customer while they are leaving, a little bit of conversation with them. So, did you like the food and all that? You liked it? Well, there is something right now also we're cooking. In case the customer looks curious, uh, take the customer with you in the kitchen. You can't do this every day, but there are some regular customers, some senior elderly ones whom you know are good foodies and they do demand a presence. So at least they see the word of mouth spread by a person who's seen it in person, in actual, is better than a video online showing that how clean is your kitchen. Because
Sure.
trust me, most of us, no matter how old we are, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the usual days when we used to stay open till 11, go to any outlet, post half an hour before they close. The kitchen is a ruckus. It's not
Right.
that dirty, but it is a ruckus. How many are actually that time wearing gloves? How many actually are wearing aprons that time? Not that they're using dirty hands with it, but the thing is, there's a SOP mode which only works in five-star hotels. They are supposed to follow it any time of the day because blind checks happen, not because
Right.
of problems. But in most of our outlets, whether it's a cafe, restaurant, whether it's a manager, whether it's the owner, we definitely say that everything is under CCTV coverage. So I check anytime I feel like, and I find you wasting time or throwing food, freshly done stuff, instead of putting it in the store or putting it in the fridge, uh, provided it can be reused. You're not supposed to throw wastage. There is good food, means abroad. You've seen this usual policy even right now during Corona. A lot of restaurants were doing this that we have stock which is in the freezer. It is good stuff. It's not bad. But instead of now throwing it or waiting that once we open in July, we will reheat it and add extra masala, extra mayo to it and make it good to eat. Let's give it as a benefit to most of the villagers or poor people who were living in the vicinity, giving them food on a daily basis.
Donate.
Yeah, donate the food. They've done that. That picture gives more credibility to your brand. That time, taking care
Absolutely.
of your own staff living in staff quarters, that okay, this is what you serve to the customers. Can you come and cook for yourself also the same thing? At least I don't want to throw the
Right.
food. Do that, the
Absolutely.
binding happens better, and those pictures are can come as posts rather than stories because that gives a definition of how you are as a brand. But all the others,
Absolutely.
one-on-one thing, talk to the customers. This is not something you need to videograph it. You're not making a movie. But the thing is, a customer seeing it in person is better than a person seeing in a video how clean is the kitchen. Because randomly they come someday and they find it bad, they will spread a much bad word of mouth, which you won't be able to stop them. So
Absolutely.
it
Absolutely.
won't work there.
Right. Do you see that there are? I mean, I've noticed that there are obvious costs being added, whether it is in regards to sanitization, hygiene, managing your staff, inventory, wastage of inventory. I mean, at the end of the day, all of these are costs at the bottom line, right? And you try to make up on the top line. So, do you see these things adding to an extra MRP on your products and services?
Uh, as of now, means trust me. Even earlier, when I had already finished 5 or 6 years of business, I had found some new restaurant owners, some new cafes, international brands. They had a stupid 12%, 10% to 12% service charge above the usual charges. Now, if I'm sitting in an AC space and I see AC charges on the bill, I will definitely see it and I'll tell him that, friend, your entire interiors is AC. Either you tell that there's a non AC space and you tell at the entrance that, okay, you will be charged for AC if you sit in AC. People have
Exactly. Yeah.
already been used to that additional charge earlier. Now, if someone is intelligently rephrasing the AC charges or service charges as COVID charges, one won't mind it. But I'm already paying additional stuff, which is service charge for God knows what service. Right now, keeping the distance and you yourself being low on staff because you had to maintain it, I'm seeing half the service. But uh, I'm kind of making sure that you carry on because you F&B industry was the most affected. So as a customer, I'll ensure that I come there, I order well so that you also make some money. But on top
Right.
of that, additional charges, like if I see separately COVID charges percentage, I will get pinched. But yeah, increasing prices by 5 rupees or 10 rupees won't pinch to the customer. He'll also understand, they understand what state we are in. So if something
Right.
was earlier 60 bucks, it's become 70, it won't pinch them. But 60 becoming 100, I don't think so. Any restaurant owner is going to be that idiot that he doubles the price of a drink
Sure.
or a snack. But
Sure.
that's where got to intelligently make good combos, wherein a person understands I am selling more food, so I don't need to double the prices, but
Mhm.
at least keeping my margins intact, I'm earning more.
Absolutely.
Earlier,
Yeah.
what I could earn only from a drink, a person take this combo, I earn more, and the customer is more convinced. So
Right.
just we got to do that.
Right, right. What kind of other trends are you noticing from your customers, consumers, by your virtue of direct conversations with them? Do you see takeaway as picking up speed during this whole process?
Uh, General thing on at least on the food aggregators perspective, I will say I see majority 90-95% of all brands doing a 30% off, a 50% off, or a 60% off, and it's not a certain day; it's the
Mhm.
entire month.
Right,
Menus have been changed, like I told you. They've some of the menus are pretty fabricated. I find half the price in the actual outlet, but it's double there. And then they're giving a 60% off. Other customer is foolish enough because they have not visited the outlet, that is there on the food aggregator perspective. Takeaways, yes, there are special deals. If you're coming for a takeaway, parcel charges are very reduced so that a person has come all the way to pick it. We ensure that the person enjoys it. Giving them a freebie, uh, it has picked up, but as of now, take vicinities like Indranagar. It's a big enough space, and people do travel here, and they do come for takeaways. But in more constricted areas, I'm not saying the COVID containment zones. I'm saying constricted areas which are smaller lanes, too many outlets next to each other, but also filled with residential areas and all that. People do not like to form a line. Means a simple example: Adigas, MTR, Madurai IT shops. These are open, but the earlier crowds that used to come, they're much lesser.
right.
They are coming for takeaways. I will find a huge line outside Truffles. I'll find even MTR. A lot of people come for picking because the food is definitely good. But the thing is, takeaways are not coming because of discounts. They're coming because they love the food. So,
Sure.
how are you promoting the takeaway part? Yes. Uh, these being old school brands, they are still sticking with the same old menu. New ones are bringing this that okay, take 2 plates of idlis and get filter coffee free. So it's something they put it on a whiteboard. It's not visible online, but this is only when you go there you get to know there's a special discount.
Right,
So
right.
yes, takeaways is keeping little, means it's required because most of the people are not sitting at home, and none of us, most of them don't have their maids who can go pick the takeaway.
Sure, sure.
They're going for buying veggies from a Namdhari or nearby. There is a good cafe or a restaurant they want to pick a meal from. They'll pick. Nobody's going
Sure.
to Domino's to eat. They will still order Domino's the old school how they were ordering. Same as with KFC or McDonald's. But yeah, online, even on newspapers, you will find these deals which these top level international brands have done. That okay, 99 rupees only, and you get the whole burger. And
Mhm.
in case you come for a takeaway yourself, show the cutout of the advertisement or give the code name, and you can take it. It's not for Swiggy or Zomato. You have to come yourself and
Right,
take it.
right.
So people do go because they're getting a discounted, much nicer offer.
Right. So, I mean, are you trying to also kind of say that people are still cash conscious, even at this situation wherein there is obviously, you're looking at a premium venue which can hold sanitization to an extent that can build trust. Do you see that customers are moving towards venues such as those to order? I mean, today five-star hotels are moving online, right? And the one thing that a customer can feel is that the price is expensive, but I can be assured that there's some sort of a hygiene. Whether there is or not is a secondary question, right? But seemingly it's coming across such that businesses are now looking at brands that they are aware of rather than just blind cloud kitchens, which might obviously not have any of the standards met. So when they look at a chai place such as yours with 2,000 square feet, do you believe that adds to the fact that there's a trust involved in it, and that yes, the product coming out of there is probably trustable rather than me just trying to look for a cash discount on that perspective?
True. Means as of now, brands, they know from a brand name as well as they know it from the location perspective. They've gone to the outlet. That confidence is definitely a motivator for them to go either order online or give a call and say, friend, I am too outside the 5 kilometer Swiggy radius of yours. So can you send it through something else? But they still want my Maggie. They still want my pakoras. So they'll give me a call directly.
Right,
That
right,
they can do, that they can do with a nearby Swiggy thing also, on which you are getting a 50% off. But just
right.
because chai patti is that more convincing to them, they'll give me a direct call. So that definitely, rather than showing them, it doesn't matter showing them pictures of sanitizing and how clean the place is. Understand from a customer perspective, I feel that okay, if I went with uh, a single friend or two more friends and we went to a outlet and we ate and we spilled a little, they will definitely clean the table with a wet cloth. But did they sanitize it post that? Did they spray sanitize it? You can't be sure of it. So at the end of the day, I will look at the brand name outside, and I will see the staff. If there is something which is more convincing in terms of being sure of the staff there, like personally, I've seen Toits, the staff that's there. They're very devoted to keeping it clean. Are they sanitizing or not? It's important. I need to be sure of that also. But the thing is, there's anyhow a kind of a relationship, connectedness I have with the staff there, that no matter what, I go there and eat sitting or whether I order, it will be surely nicely done and convincingly clean. It's not about how much of losses they are in. That's a bar. That's a liquor based shop. For most of the liquor outlets, they are getting no business from the last 5 6 months. So for them, they are in dead trenches. So for them, giving something old or making up with low quality stuff sold double the price, they can do that. But since I know the brand name, I'm more convinced that I can still order from there.
Sure.
I won't be having the doubt. I don't need to see online anything, no pictures, no WhatsApp sureties or give a call, nothing.
Right, just the brand value is going to get you to move ahead with the transaction as such. Yeah. Do you have any insights from the circles, that the restaurateurs are at? I mean, what is this failure and what is the shutdown rate that is going around in
Uh,
terms of businesses and pubs and cafes and restaurants and just hospitality in nature of that sort?
uh, in terms of percentage, none of us will have the right figure, because even those who have not online said that we are closing may close the moment things reopen or it's a full open, uh, allowing comes from the government. Because trust me, right now, this is something I discussed with my restaurateur friends. None of us are in the liquor part of things. So liquor licenses, you are aware, CL9 and various other licenses, renewal last date is 31st July. How many have done it? How many of them have done it? How many of them have ignored it? How many of them are least bothered about it? Ignore and least bothered are two different things. Ignoring is that okay, right now things are being in the talks with the liquor industry and the government part of things. What is the license charge? There's no bribe there. But the thing is, everybody is concerned that I can renew the license, but after that, also if the customer doesn't come because you have not opened the uh, privileges of serving liquor in the shop rather than giving MRP based
Yeah.
outside, I want customers to come sit and have it. When that permission comes, only then will this renewal of the license give me some money, because then I can sell something. There's no point buying a liquor at a certain ABC price and selling it also at ABC, because you're allowing only MRP selling, not the usual menu
Sure.
selling. Now,
Right.
till that is not there, I don't think so. The license renewals will happen, and immediately people will not be sure what will be the feel. That's the usual thing. People are saying that it may take 2 or 3 months, maybe 6 months till the year end. We are not sure whether things will be fine or not. In
Right.
my case, like I told you, restaurateurs who are not into liquor, for us, the biggest concern was that our licenses have to be renewed. There's something we
Mhm.
renew every year, the BBMP
Right.
licenses. A lot of them have already means areas like Jayanagar, Shantinagar, Kalyan Nagar. The BBMP guys have gone to some outlets and gone and asked, "Where is your license?" Where biggest thing is they're not saying which license. They know it's a
Mhm.
restaurant, so it's
Mhm.
not a liquor place. So they're not asking you for your liquor license. But right now, the bigger concern from the central government, what's been passed on to most of the states is that okay, you're allowing food outlets to open, not the liquor ones, food outlets. Have you checked their health license?
Mhm.
This was something most of the F&B guys, you've taken it once. It's not something that you need to really focus on renewal. Health license is important, but health license is something which will come as a new term.
Mhm.
That is your health license latest or it is 5 years old.
Mhm.
Different states, different policies. It's nothing mandatory written on the letter or on the license that okay, this is 1 year or whatever. There are different terms. I can't comment on it.
Mhm.
But the thing is, right now, considering it's a COVID situation, is your space sanitized? Your video doesn't confirm that. The health inspector, who's part of BBMP, he or she giving you a certificate that your health license is up to the mark.
Mhm.
You don't need a newspaper or an ad or a social media coverage telling that you're safe. That license itself says enough. But the thing is,
Right.
is that done correctly? I am telling from my own startup level, health licenses are done rightly only, but the thing is, many a times they don't even come to check. And
Mhm.
most of the restaurant owners, I'm telling you, they're showing the wrong outlet, getting a health license for that, and then opening in a different place. That's
Mm.
the whole fiasco with cloud kitchens.
Right.
Cloud kitchens, they don't exist in actual entities. They are
Mhm.
not spaces. It's like one kitchen standing out for three cloud kitchens. There's no
Sure.
board outside, but only
Yes.
the address is certified. It's visible on Swiggy, it's visible on Zomato, and that's done. When the
Right.
space is not commercial, is it having any license at all? I don't think so. So
Absolutely. I
right
mean, it
now,
could be from the back
for
room, back alley that I'm actually cooking out of. Yes.
so for from a customer perspective or even as a government perspective, I'm not with any government official or any department case people, but I'm saying for the goodness of both the sides, because understand now till the financial year end, which is March 2021 happens, you may not be able to avoid it, but you can tell that okay, corona has not been finished. Vaccine
Mhm.
comes in 1 or 2 weeks, that doesn't mean it is over.
Mhm.
What we are supposed to have as a outlet, as a office space, as a designated business space, those licenses are important. You are supposed to renew them, you're supposed to keep them. Cases of alcohol and all that, understood, it's all India, it's not just Bangalore, it's not just Karnataka. So the usual norm which everybody is following, follow it, but keep yourself aware of what's happening, not based on your neighbor's preferences or neighbor's viewpoints. You have to have your own independent viewpoints. But trade license, health license are two things which either they're renewed every year, or like I'd given you example, Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, there are many cities, many states where you get a trade license for 3 years also. Nobody gives you a 10-year license.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
3 year licenses do exist. Maybe 5 years also exist. I'm not sure on the five, but three I'm aware of. Mumbai, I'm aware there is a 3 year license. Trade license. It's not a liquor. But
Mhm.
with that, health license is again given like that. It's not that he's gonna come, he or she's gonna come every year and check, because you have the same premises. Yes, if you've done some building changes, you've increased the size of the kitchen, then definitely they would like to come and see health basis that is it clean or not. Kitchen
Mhm.
is important. Any expansion in the kitchen, you might have to, it can come as a check, it can come as whatever. They'll say size increased of the building, not bothered. Kitchen,
Mhm.
washroom, that's where the health problems can come from. Those
Right.
cases, please inform them, take the renewal, go forward.
Sure, sure. So yeah, it is an important aspect, the check. We just hope it's done in the right way and in a fair way, so that for the benefit of the end consumer and the business as well, for sure. Did you get any kind of a support from the government, even if it's to the smallest extent of that you might have benefited? It would be great to actually hear some insights around those.
This is something, means, like I told you, most of us are only keeping our views based on uh, fellow restaurateur friends' perspective or a group's perspective. What's happening across India? I cannot say NRAI. NRAI anyhow is a central organization. BRO is Bangalore Restaurateur Owners Group, so it's only for Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
What is being told in NRAI might apply in Delhi, might apply in Calcutta. Could be those state government rules, could be different. But what are general policies for a F&B outlet is followed across India. It's not that my trade license is different, there is different. Means, of course, entity names are different, and the kind of business you have, based on that, the trade license value also is different. But what you have to know is, centrally what is done may be different in state, and you are supposed to follow that by keeping yourself aware. Now, when the corona thing happened, there is something we are checking, covid-19.org, which gives you the India numbers in terms of state wise. What are the today's number of cases, how many dead, how many basically were became okay and uh, came out of the hospitals. Now, all these things, figures, are basically, there's a government scenario also, there's a government site also, on which you could put your perspective if there's a problem. It's not that, okay, my landlord is creating problems for me, for that I will send a letter to the Prime Minister. I can't do that. That's foolish. But there are helps wherein you can mention that, okay, whether it's, example, I'm a MSME.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm an MSME and my loan is not being approved because my bank guy doesn't believe in it. MSME is a central thing. It has a site. You can basically send a request to the central problem. Means, it's not an NGO you're sending it to. pmgov.in.
Right.
pmgov.in. Mr. Modi is definitely a very responsible prime minister, as well as he's managing these things on a digital level also very well. pmgov.in is a kind of a troubleshoot customer care kind of a thing, in which you can mention problems which you're facing, thanks to your local government or your local organizations, whom even after asking for help or trying to get a solution, you're not getting, because they are either ignoring you or they are creating problems for you. MSME is one such thing. Loans. There are a lot of things we have discussed earlier, the previous interviews. Loan moratoriums. Now, if you are yourself making up facts, like, let's say, I along with my brother, example I'm giving, I along with my brother, or I with another colleague of mine, he is a bar owner, I am a restaurant owner, and two of us have collectively opened a company under which there are two restaurant bar outlets which are co-owned by us. Now the thing is, ownership is not many a times revealed openly to the local government, the local authorities also. People hide it. Now, thanks to lockdown, everything is closed. Just because you're a restaurant owner, but along with your partner, because you put liquor also into it, you had to
You're
close
sure.
it. But right now, you opened your restaurant, and your partner, who is a liquor brand owner, but he is using your restaurant kitchen as a cloud kitchen for his bar brand and selling
Mm-hmm.
stuff, which is not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Even Swiggy is not selling. Example means, I have Vapor next to me. Toy Vapor and Toy are not selling stuff from Swiggy
Mm-hmm.
because they are liquor brands. Yes,
Yes.
go there, pick a takeaway. You're allowed. So there are certain places wherein these people are hiding and saying, "I'm not getting permission. My staff basically had a problem. My location was next to a containment zone, so I'm not even being allowed for Swiggy and all that." We have had these problems in the restaurant groups also. People have told that my space in 12th Main Indranagar was every day giving deliveries for Swiggy or Zomato. Yesterday, I had the local police guy coming at 9 p.m. in the night and saying, "Excuse me, what is this happening?" I've told myself that no, this is not, my shop is not open. It is just for deliveries. The kitchen is open.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, not allowed. You don't have permission, this and that, please. And they talk in Kannada.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not whether the owners are Kannadiga again. They talk in local language. They don't know the language. They are not able to give right answers. They simply say, shut it down. Next day, they'll come and seal it off.
Right, right.
That problem, these guys have done a lot. That time, you're not a localite. You don't have, means none of us have government support here. And we are not politician families. But the thing is, that time, these guys raised this problem only in our groups. And we, again, being like them, we can't do much. But we have that time sent the problem to NRAI, which is our restaurant owners organization, to help. That time, if you know of certain government portals, there could be local ones. I don't know if there's one in Karnataka, but I gave you the example, pmgov.in. On that, if I send that I basically applied for my license renewal, online it is saying fine. But when I go to the office and say, sir, I tried to renew my trade license online, but the site is giving stupid responses.
Hmm.
Office simply then starts talking in Kannada or whatever, knowing that I'm not a localite, and choose me off. I can send screenshots of that online problem along with the mail stating that I went to the office and I spoke to so and so person and I said, I want to renew, but in the right amount. And the site is creating a problem which is not a central site. It's a Karnataka site wherein you're renewing your trade license only in Karnataka. There's no central site for that. But this is the problem I'm facing from a government official. I can't complain about non-government problems on PMGOV because it's a government site.
Right.
There you will get an immediate reply.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate reply through email. The calls might happen much longer. I myself had done it that okay, I wanted to apply for a loan moratorium, but there was problems being shown, and plus, in my outlet, though being a non-liquor place, it's a cafe. The local police was constantly barricading the road, so neither could the delivery guy come for pickup, neither could I myself enter my premises. And they were constantly saying that, how dare you come here? This is a lockdown time. When Indiranagar is not a containment zone,
Mm-hmm.
why am I, being a business owner and being in this building for almost 10 years, being stopped from coming to my outlet? I'm not inviting customers here. I'm keeping that rule, sure. But then these kind of, the example is simple, that it's a khaki worthy police guy. He's not a traffic guy. And he's
Mm-hmm.
coming to shut down an outlet just because he feels they are making a lot of money and he's not
Right.
got his bribes. They're coming for bribe seeking. These things you cannot put CC. You can't that time tell him, please give a pose. I'll click a picture. He will slap you. He'll put you in the jail. But the
Right.
thing is, that time if you're smart enough, and you can basically have some proof that okay, this was the person who came. This was the person who created problem. You don't have to tell the local government. Means first, definitely tell the local government. If you don't get support there, send it centrally on the government thing. They will help you with whatever is government related. MSME is not a private certification. It's a central certification. There's a proper ministry of that. And right
Sure.
now, if like last conversation, they were talking about financial means finance minister always talking during this lockdown that what are the new helps they are giving for to the F&B industry. There was nothing coming. They were very disheartened. Understand there is certain things which come only on the website, but at the same time on the side you are supposed to send that query to a government site, a government portal, wherein there's an email that you have sent. Might work, may not work. At least I can say pmgov.in. What I sent definitely came immediately. I told that that is a retired army guy. I've been running this for 10 years and this is the problem I'm suffering. My MSME loan is not being approved and all that. They immediately sent a mail. That is the
Wow.
same mail I showed to my bank and it
Wow.
got approved, which
Right.
otherwise it was not a SBI, it's a different bank, but I'm not revealing the bank name. But they definitely said that, okay, this sir, it will get approved from the central team then. I'm like, central government or central team of your bank?
Hmm.
No, sir, government will first approve, then the central team of the bank will tell us, then we'll approve. I just sent him a screenshot of the mail that came back from the government. Within 3 days, it was done.
Interesting. I mean, I think that kind of a sort of a fear needs to be imbibed in these people that there is a government trying to back you up and they're not. I see this happening with a lot of private banks, especially. They seem to be a little bit ignorant, even though they're aware of it. I've actually spoken to a lot of people in the businesses where they were sort of shooed away in regards to addressing them. I'm sure the PMO.gov website is of being much use at this point of time, and I'm sure most of them will be aware of it and try to take some kind of action around those. That's
As of
correct.
now, biggest thing is here, you and me are discussing this. This is not something that came on Instagram to me.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is totally off social media.
Mm-hmm.
But when she basically had a doubt, dad, a retired army guy sitting at home, he also had a doubt. I basically searched. And these are things which most of the things online, it comes. We have to be social media savvy, not for just promoting our brands, but also to see what's the government doing. This
Right.
doesn't come in newspaper, but the email ID, the link on which you can go to put such grievances, you are mentioned. But keep an account of it. This is not something you're gonna pass it on to your manager or to your partner or to your funder. This is
Right.
something most of the restaurant owners need to do themselves.
Right.
As
Right.
help may happen, help may not happen, but at least you've done it. You'll be a little more convinced that okay, I did my bit.
Right. Right. I mean, each one has to stand up for their own self at this point of time because I see everybody is in a soup, and there's obviously too much of ruckus going around with
Yeah,
what's out there. I think some of them are not even MSME certified, and they're trying to get loans.
yeah.
So a lot of
It's
education is much needed at this.
fabricated. There's a lot
Yes.
of fabrication also happening. That okay, I basically am not a private limited. I'm just a proprietor.
Right.
The person is double funded and he's a proprietor and he's saying I'm a MSME. I'm like, why don't you call yourself a SME? He's like,
Right.
what's the difference? I'm like, there's medium and small, there's a small. Call yourself a small, you're not medium, you're much lower, man.
Right. So, what are you kind of envisioning for the future of hospitality to be? Because it's so shaky right now, to be honest. So, it is scary for somebody in the space. I mean, I say that from a point of a service that is provided to the hospitality industry. What do you see yourself going through? Being at the center of all of this.
I feel there are a lot of, what can I say, proprietary owners who are not a company mindset. They're more like individual mindset. They will still be involved. Yes, we are in losses. Times look little not so pally in the future, the next 2-3 months. But because they're involved, because for them the brand is more like a passion, they
Mm-hmm.
will like to stay involved and try and connect with the customers. But
Mm-hmm.
it will take some time. I
Right.
would say patience in the level that it might take time till March for things to totally become normal. But
Mhm.
understanding we are Indians, Diwali time, you can call it prayers, our wishes with the with the gods that Sri Ram ji, please do something. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Things will get better. But as of now, biggest thing what I told is your relationship with your staff. Very importantly, relationship with your customers. Yes, there is a bridge which is the food aggregators. I don't say they're bad, but understand they are themselves trying to make ends meet by putting discounted prices, discounted offers, so that they also make some money and at the same time we earn something. But customers sitting at home, not that they are hand to mouth, they have the money. Slowly, once they start coming out, things become normalized. Then from one person becoming a small couples coming, groups coming, then a whole colleague group from office or old family friends coming together. It'll take a while for that word of mouth and that blending to happen. Once that
Right.
happens, things will be fine. Only thing, it'll take some time. I don't see that happening in the next 2 months, 2-3 months. November onwards, I would expect that September gets a little better. But as of now, seeing the crazy numbers of cases that are coming from the last 4 or 5 days, 5,000 to almost five and a half every day in Karnataka. Bangalore urban being on top, it's scary. But same time, I can't be so bothered right now. The number of people who are getting treated and are coming out corona negative, not immediately, yes, they have to stay for that long in the hospital, but they're getting treated well. I don't think so people have that scare that, okay, I'm going to die if I'm going to get touched. Yes, the
Mm-hmm.
expenses, they're very bothered about the very idiotic, sometimes just made up expenses. There are a lot of hidden coverages patients have done in hospitals when they have been charged fleeced over daily bed charges and all that. Understand, corona doesn't mean that you can't be home quarantined. You can be home quarantined, but yes, if you're having a breathlessness and breathing problem, you need a ventilator. You can't install a ventilator in your house. You need to go to a hospital for that. And right now, no matter how many beds there are there, ventilators are less, and the cost of ventilators is crazily high.
Mm-hmm.
Till that problem doesn't come down, the governments will not open up two of the most important going out reasons: college, schools to open, corporates allowed to have their old manpower coming back. Yes, they still have to
Travel.
maintain.
Yeah.
Travel important, but travel, understand, every year post August, most of the people wait till November when Diwali happens or Durga Puja happens. They are traveling during summer vacations. The kids right now, kids are at home only, so there are no summer vacations. Diwali time is when the travel problem, even you take away the problems, as in you can travel, the freedom is given. People will start traveling only during Diwali, Christmas, which is the time when most of the people who have come on work to Bangalore or who have gone to different cities internationally or wherever.
We
So
got you.
I was saying the travel thing basically is gonna restart when usually we used to travel, which is the December, November time when we are going for Diwali to our hometowns, going for meeting our parents, going to meet our families who are in our hometowns. So till that time, we'll have to wait. But till then, it's not that people won't like to go out of home. Once the little thing normalizes, it's not about malls opening. It's about just biggest concern for most of the youngsters would be when are the bars opening because they're
Right.
not happy having Budweiser sitting at home. They would like to share a beer keg with their friends in a bar, their favorite bar.
Right.
So once that opens, then you'll see the crowd having that little freedom. Not that they'll go drinking every day; they can't afford that. They were more. It's more affordable right now at home. But
Mm-hmm.
then you'll see the visit going out of home travel outside
Right.
the city will still, like I told you, November, December. Wait till then. But before that, this will start. Then you will see some businesses also happening. It's not that people can't spend right now, but trust me, it's rainy time. But how many are wanting to come to Chayapati and enjoy a kullar chai with pakoras in the rain? They're
Right.
sitting at home. It's not that they knew rains are going to happen, but the phone does tell you. Your phone also would give you a reminder that today it's going to have a storm, a thunderstorm kind of a thing. So,
Right.
chai time possible. So, it's right
Right.
now that mindset to kind of be lazy at home because my friend's not going out and my family in hometown also is locked down. It's that collective mindset. They're not free to go
Right.
enjoy and send a selfie that, hey, I went out. Did you? That challenge will come another after 2 3 months.
Yeah. Do you have any tips or tricks for obviously the businesses to kind of ride this wave? Considering there's this unknown number of 6 months or 8 months or 7 months, and there is obviously overheads that has to be controlled. Some have to take the risk of trying to source money and plug it back into the system as a capital. Some of them will just take the decision of shutting down. But do you have any sort of a way for these guys to take the best decision, an insight or a trick or a tip that you'd like to share?
Uh, this is something means understand from the perspective of shop being closed for some time. Yes, landlords will be a problem, but understand landlords are not people who are co-partners in managing your space. But it's not that you can. Most of us are in the mindset of sending them good mornings through WhatsApp daily. It's not required also, but make them understand that I didn't pick this space to just close it down within 2 or 3 months for people who started this year, or 2 or 3 years who started 2 3 years back. Since you've been in a particular location for more than a year, you will be sure that this is where your customer comes from. Yes, you were in that expansion mode that you wanted to open 1 or 2 more branches in another good place. Keep that on hold. But your hub site, which is your headquarters space, keep that safely in your hands. Firstly, talk to the landlord this next 6 months. In fact, take it for the entire financial year end, which is March. So another 5 months of this year and another 3 months of the next year. Total 8 months. 8 months, go pitch that, sir, can you give me a reduced rental? I'm not saying waive it off. Means most of us would have ideally got the waiver in April, May when we were closed. Some wouldn't have got it for both the months. Some would have at least got it for April, because no matter you think the landlords are foolish, they do check online to check how's the brand doing, and they will check Swiggy, Zomato to are you active on that. So no matter you say that my shop was closed, the landlord says you're earning something from Swiggy, Zomato, you're giving 50% off, but still something. That time, crying, weeping that no, I have to pay the salaries and there is electricity cost and God knows what all. There is overheads. They don't listen. They become deaf to you.
Right.
Be in conversation with the landlord right now so that you are assured that your location is not out of your hand.
Right.
Right now, nobody's going to threaten this that please remove this brand. I will take over. Nobody wants to take over. So you're not threatened by a new tenant.
Exactly.
But the owner, no matter whether he or she has your deposit, they will like to say that I was every month earning in lakhs, or people who are below a lakh rental, they are earning that much. They would not like to come to zero. If you talk to them through discussion, you can bring it down 50% down or whatever. It's based on your connection with your landlord. That is the first step you got to do. Be assured of your space not going out of your hand. Second comes your staff. Vendors means I'm not going into vendors because trust me, there are multiple vendors. Yes, you have a connection. You would like you are having a doubt that landlord might throw me. Similarly, vendor would have the doubt that you might throw him. So vendors is something again a concern, but can be replaced, can be retained. They will understand that what was your monthly pickup that has come down because footfalls of customers have gone down. Online deliveries have gone down. So definitely the stock which was in 5 or 10 kgs has come down to 1 or 2 kgs. Still something you're ordering, maintain that with them. Don't do this that just because it's 1 packet or 2 packets, you will go and buy it locally from a shop and your vendor doesn't hear from you for 2 months when you were locked down. And since you've closed, you've opened now, he's still not hearing from you. Maintain that relationship there so that at least you have a stock backup.
Sure.
Staff, when I say most of your main staff, all of us would have sent them home. Some would have given them staff quarters or something to stay back with a reduced salary, because of course they also understand bosses earning nothing, so how will he pay?
Right.
But you got to be careful and little intelligent there, that you cannot give them someone on a salary of 20-30,000 being your master chef. You give him only 5-6,000 and give him food. That is not respect. That is very, very below the belt. Give them at least, means of course they also understand the shop is closed. You are not even calling him for cooking anything. Yes, if you're running it like a cloud kitchen for Swiggy and Zomato deliveries, even during the lockdown 2 months, yeah, he or she, means I don't think so most of them are she, all of them are he will understand that he cannot expect his full salary. 50% is what most of them think. You bring it down further down, it totally depends on your relationship with your staff. But ensure that if you don't give them anything, they will not leave you to a competition, because competition not coming for them. Nobody has the money to pay these staff members, but they get disgusted with your payments. The moment you open and you expect customers to come, groups come, the service will be good, but the food quality might be bad, because these guys didn't get payments what they expected. At least be in conversation with them. It's not that you can go with each of their demands. Some people would be 2 years with you, some people would be just 6 months old with you, expecting a raise post a year. At least the old one should be assured that you not getting the raise, but the old salary also, I'm not halving it because I'm getting work from you. But if you're not taking any work from them, please give them the basic 3,000, 5,000, so that their room rents, which is borne by them, and their everyday food expense is covered.
Right.
Can't expect that, okay, you go home, I will call you when things become okay. Things will not become okay, my friend. I know certain brands who have sent their main chefs back home to Assam, Tripura, Nagaland, and I get calls from some of them who are good friends of mine because they'll be next Chaipati. Sir, I don't think so, I will be called there again. I'm like, has he told? No, he's not, but I don't think so. They're not paying 1,000 also. Train tickets also, I only had to do. Now, at least understand, you being an international brand or a local brand, you're a brand. Your respect lies in the fact that at least be human enough to your staff, who should be like family. Some of them, everybody has bad staff also, but don't ignore them so much that you can't even give a rupee.
Right.
So,
Right.
staff relationship, I would say, maintain it so that once you are in full force opening or in full force in serving, that time your main team is intact.
Right.
Not that that time you're putting ads on OLX, that looking for, not OLX, on Facebook, looking for chefs. Putting that time ads for that need housekeepers or cleaners, most of us have chucked them out because we couldn't bear them. There was
Sure.
no cleaning required when customer not coming. So they can
Right.
be sent ads for, but keep your main team intact with you. So
Sure.
advice started with landlord, important part staff, vendors I've already mentioned. Now comes the part which is something I dwell almost on a daily basis: customers. Understand, right now, some of them are coming, some of them are old ones, some of them are new ones. Click pictures, make some memoirs. Some they would make themselves. Tell them, let there be a communication. Means you can see uh, this particular small poster that I put. Please maintain distance. Now here, a lot of people would have kept these kind of posters or whatever. Put your tag name @Chaipati is mine. Most of the people won't know what's your tag name online. Your bills doesn't say what is your uh, profile name on Instagram, Facebook. Nobody gives WhatsApp, but Facebook, Instagram are your brand pages, where if people know what's your brand name on that, they can follow you, they can post their own memoir. I feel that some of them prefer privacy. So, of course, you can say that, sir, please pose, since you are my post Corona problem customer. So, I want to put a post, my first post COVID customer. I don't think so that kind of ads or posts will be taken nicely. But if people liked it, at least show uh, happy customer through an appreciative post wherein they can tag themselves, or
Sure.
they post it tagging you.
Right.
This you repost or you put a comment that, okay, hey, we are very much alive. People need to hear from you. You're not going to come on Republic News Channel from Arnab Goswami telling that you're open. But you can definitely do it on Instagram or Facebook. I'm not saying an ad. It's your own page wherein some content has to come.
Sure.
Your
Surely.
website homepage is supposed to say that we are very much there, because a lot of people will go on to Google searching for your location and find you temporarily
Right.
closed or permanently closed. How many of you are basically managing your Google Analytics? I started, means again, doing a small rephrasing. The problems, I can't call them problems, the important things in our business: landlord, which is my location where I'm running from; my staff, which is basically preparing what I'm serving; vendors is just a backup, that's the source from where it comes, but
Sure.
you have to be in touch; customers, because that is who's going to give the orders, otherwise I won't get revenue.
Right.
But customers are not who are membership owners, like you have lifestyle shopper stop membership cards, and you can send a flyer mail or something that, okay, we have 30% off on Tommy Hilfiger and this and that. We are outlets. We might have members. We might have we can send those freebie SMSs that, okay, this for this we have a week special, can you come? Some of you would have that privilege. In my brand, I don't. I only have a online page in which maybe not all my customers are there, but it's a open page. It's not a private profile wherein only people I allow to follow will follow. So any random person who's never come to Chai Patti also goes on Chai Patti page, will see that this was how it was yesterday, because I'm posting how was my activity in the premises on a day basis. If there's something special that I'm putting, maybe because customers who aren't there or I'm wanting to attract them, all that goes in a post format or a story format. I don't put so many posts because trust me, you and me also being owners, if we follow a Twitter profile or a Facebook, Instagram profile, and we find every day there are 3 posts coming from this, we unfollow it because there's too much of content coming on my live page, right? So you got to keep that content on that limit, which being a brand owner, you can do it. You give it to an outsourced party, too much of marketing right now will look desperation. At the same time, it would look confusion also, because people won't understand what's on the menu, what's special, and how safe is your place.
Surely.
All 3 things every day don't need to be going, but once in a month, do mention online how happy, how good a space you have, how a customer's enjoying their time there through a customer centric post, and if there's something on the menu that's come new or an offer. These 3 things is what you go around. 3 posts good enough for a month, maybe little more, but not disconnected. I would say be connected with your customer. As of now, that is what's required, because everything is online, very little in-person presence.
Absolutely. I mean, people should take advantage of this particular spectrum that's out there, which is a free medium, and try to create a personality around themselves and the brand itself. For sure. Yes. Great. It was pleasure talking to you, Chirag, and it was an absolute honor. I am definitely going to write a bit about the insights that you shared and share it across on our next post that just talks about a briefing of our conversation. I look forward to catching up with you again at Chai Patti over a chai, without a mask and having a conversation one-on-one. So look forward.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Most welcome. In fact, today you were supposed to have chai while I was having. I have finished mine, but you're not having a chai.
I'm so
This
sorry.
is
I
a
will tell
question. This is a
that.
question. Even customers ask that, Chirag, at your entrance there is a small like that poster, mini poster that you're supposed to wear mask and then enter.
Right.
Are we supposed to wear it and then eat food? I'm like, no, man. You can remove the mask and then eat, and I'll click your picture also while you're without the mask, but eating. While you enter
Right.
with a mask, that time your picture will be with a mask. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's a confusing world right now. People just don't know
basic
what to do.
concern: enter with a mask, sanitize your hands, put your entry as who you are, basic credentials. It's become more like a hospital entry rather than a food space entry. But then I
True,
let people
true.
enjoy their space. But
Right.
we got to maintain our social distance and keeping that distance amongst each other, and having good food, fresh, clean food. That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. Pleasure having you again, and I shall connect back with you as soon as possible.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Take care. See ya.
Take care. Thank you. So, folks, as you saw, the reason we have this conversation is actually to listen from every single individual. What are they doing for their businesses? What innovative approaches are they taking? And what new formats are they looking at to sustain and grow? But from what we heard today from Chirag, the most important thing for you to realize and go forward would be to really analyze, first of all, what is it that part of your business that you like, love, and has made you sustain. Figure out if this is still a viable prospect for you going forward. If it is, then take the most important steps of talking to your your landlord, building trust, talking to your employees, building trust again, making sure they're taken care of, because the times are tough for everybody, right? And they've been with you. Making sure that you follow the right information around your SOPs, making sure that you look at all the financial positioning that you are in, and figure out your finances. Take this time off, not to rush in and have a knee-jerk reaction, but prominently to analyze and realize what is it that you want to really do going forward, and try to bring about your own innovation into your businesses. Um, Well, I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Mr. Chirag. As he said, you can trust Chirag, Chai Patti to be sanitized. You can walk in, have a walkthrough of his kitchen. He's always there. So we hope that consumers start coming out and exploring and having a great experience as they used to. Uh, well, hoping everything comes back to normal now. Thank you. We hope we'll see you again in the next episode. As always, please feel free to call us or write to us on the information given below. We'd like to hear your thoughts, questions, and feedback. If you do know of someone who could add value to the industry, please do nominate them.